Good morning, all. Well, good afternoon. Welcome. It's your baby boomer, Kitty Lane from the Peninsula in Virginia. I'm a little misconstrued today, and I'm sorry, but welcome to Create and Relate. I would like to thank all of my subscribers, and I appreciate you. Please, please, please don't forget to pop in, press that like button. I need those, and it costs you nothing, just a click. Also, don't forget to share my videos. Please comment on the videos. I do respond to all comments. And invite more subscribers. All of that goes into the algorithm and it helps me to come closer to my goal of becoming monetized. I would like to share with you that my weight is down to 323. I am constantly losing fluid, the excessive fluid that's in my body. So I'm happy about that. I showed you yesterday that I had actually finished one car seat cover. Yay! Oh boy. I'm thrilled about that. I was going to add a little more to the border, but I used up all of the 3 balls that I used of this color. And I didn't want to open the other pack. I got another idea in mind for those 3. So I am still working on the corner to corner. I am still working on the pink on pink. But I picked this up. It's another car seat cover. Really can be a baby blanket by the time I finish. I'm just about halfway through. So it's more like a car seat cover. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. I am going to border it. I have these 2 colors left. I added colors just as I grabbed them. And this is going to be, as it was my beginning color, it's going to be my middle color, and then I'm going to go backwards as far as the colors are concerned. I guess you can see that I am wearing my dress. I'm loving this dress, y'all. I did make another washcloth. I have not really been crocheting this morning because I spent a large part of the morning. I have to share this with you all. Oh, as far as the walking is concerned, I have not transferred my walking to outside yet. But what I've been doing is getting steps in inside the apartment. Sometimes I will just stand on the side of my bed or at the dresser and I'll march. And it's not necessarily to get steps in as much as it is to get the strength back in my legs, because I was able to wash dishes for the past few days without a lot of pain. So that's a plus. I was able to sit out there and work on my puzzle without a lot of pain. So those are pluses. I'm even able to do something to my hair. It's not as neat or pretty as when my daughter does it, but it's a plus for me. And I'm excited about those. When I tell you all things that I have to do, they're things that I want to do. In my mind, I really want to do these things. And I remember a time that I was able to do them. I grew up in a household where every 3 months a room was changed around. We had 4 basic rooms in our house that, warranted changing them around, and that was 3 bedrooms and a living room. So we would pick months for each one, and it went around. The way it rotated was every 3 months we were doing a room. The living room was always easy, so it was getting changed every month. Um, my mind went. You do know that I will have the weekly balance for the grow donations listed in the description box. There was something else, but I don't remember. Uh, uh, uh. Oh, I was telling you about my conversation this morning. Okay, so the woes of being on disability, the woes of having a limited income. Ooh, okay. So, apparently, back in April, social services was supposed to have sent me recertification papers for my Medicaid, the portion which covers what a lot of people don't know until they get the packet in the mail, the Part D of my Medicare, which is the prescription part, the sub, the prescription part. Yeah, prescription for my meds. I didn't get the paperwork. I got a letter close to the end of April saying that my Medicaid coverage was going to be discontinued and that if I wanted to appeal it. So I called and I'm asking them why. And they said, because you didn't recertify. I didn't know I was supposed to recertify. We sent you a packet. No. Maybe you mailed out one, but it hasn't gotten here yet. What can I do to rectify this? Well, we can send you, because your deadline date has not come up yet, we can send you the paperwork. I said, can I pick them up? I don't want to run the risk of them using the mail to do this again. And. So she says, yes, anytime between, and gave me the hours. So I did one better. I went up there the very next morning. I filled out the paperwork there, turned it in there, got a receipt for turning it in there. Okay. So from that day to this, I have not heard anything about that paperwork. Now hold up before you start saying what I should do. I have called those people at least 3 times a week, every week since April. So finally in May, I get the recertification package, which was dated March 1st. You feel me? Now, I don't know if they didn't send it out on time, or Uncle Sam's mail decided it was going to deliver it when it got ready to. I can tell you that we have had issues with the mail out here, which I let everybody in the important places know, which is why my delivery address for here is different from where I live. I'll go pick it up. So, I'm still waiting. This is May. I'm still waiting to hear and still calling about the status of my application, because now I've received a letter from disability telling me that they are going to start taking what Medicaid should be paying out of my check. Mind you, my check already didn't cover my rent alone. It was a few $100s short of my rent. So now you're taking close to $200 out of my check, and because this was proactive, out of the first check, June, you're going to take close to $400. Really? Which they did. In July, took close to 200. This month, took close to 200. Well, Kitty, how are you thriving? Because me and my daughter live here, and we have come up with a financial plan. Well, what happened, what had happened was, back in April, we're going back a little bit, the company that she worked for, a company that we all use and love, y'all just don't know the behind the scenes of this company. Oh my God. Which is why I really stopped dealing with them so much. Y'all, let me tell you about Amazon. Amazon is really good for delivering your packages, and that's what you know. And a lot of, I'm not telling you not to use Amazon. I'm telling you my personal experience as a parent of an Amazon worker. And it wasn't Amazon themselves, it was the subcontracted company under Amazon called Gen Blue. Their drivers were not permitted to make bathroom stops. Um, if they had medical issues, doctor's note or not, they were expected to come to work. They only worked them 4 days a week, 10 hours a day. Okay, fine. They put them on a time limit as far as they could not drive into people's driveways, regardless of how long the driveway was. Lots of times they were given lock boxes to deliver to and not given the key. They were required to go to places where they had to pay to go in, and they were not compensated for it. These drivers would get, they were on an honor system where if they got positive reviews, they would get rewarded for it. That was at their discretion. It was like, if I like you, I'll give this to you. If I don't, you won't get it. They had have cameras inside and outside the vans. So, which doesn't bother me. I mean, it didn't bother my daughter. It doesn't bother me. Um, but they would see things happen and still fault their drivers. Uh, Case in point, my daughter was run off the road one time. She had to call for assistance. Mind you, this was not the first time she had been stuck, but she was actually run off the road almost into a ditch. She had to call for help. They wanted to dock her pay for that. Now, the tedious stuff came after my daughter was sexually harassed on the job. This was caught on camera at the base. They suspended the two perpetrators. And then these little things started happening to my daughter. They brought the main perpetrator back, but fixed it so that that person was working when my daughter wasn't. My daughter pulled out a cigarette one day. She was getting ready to step out of the van, and her lighter, she wanted to leave the lighter in the van, and she did. She lit the cigarette. So anybody else, they would have pointed it out. We saw you on camera, so they would do something like suspend them for a day, maybe even a week if it was their second offense. This is a girl that's had, in over a year, only had 2 bad reviews. Okay. One was at a school where the front door, it was a school and a daycare center connected to each other, and they both shared an address, but in their comments, they did not specify which door. She had a lot of packages to deliver to them. She did not have a hand truck to deliver them. So as she was inside trying to ask where to deliver them, everybody acted like they didn't know. I happened to be on the phone with her. That's why I know what was going on at that site. And when they finally decided to tell her, it was a time call. When they finally decided to tell her where she was supposed to be delivering, she was down to like 2 minutes before delivering. So they gave her a bad review because she was like 3 minutes outside of the delivery time. Another one happened when it was a time delivery as well. The person left their house and went to the store. And my daughter was in the process of calling, letting them know, hey, I'm here to deliver this package. These people are not here. What do you want me to do? You want me to leave it, or do you want me to bring it back to base? And at this time, these people are pulling up, and they ask her, are you here for so-and-so? She confirmed, and they said, okay, hold tight. I got to make a run. I'll be back. Really? Really? And then you give her a bad review. Okay, but anyway, Because of lighting the cigarette, she was terminated. Okay, now all of this is going on at the same time, and through our rent into arrears, we were struggling, we were hustling, we were trying, we were really trying to make things come together. It was tedious, it was stressful, but we made it through that. Daughter got a job in a management position at a fast food restaurant. Things are getting back on track. Well, in the meantime, I decided now is the time for me to get my YouTube channel. I need to get here and work towards getting it monetized so that we don't have to be in this situation again. And also, I play these ridiculous little games on my phone to try to earn a little extra income. My daughter and I both smoke. We do. Um, Not in the apartment. But regardless of all of that, it's when we when I play these games, I get no more. I think the most I've gotten in a day is like $3.16. So, bringing us back up to date, I got a phone call from disability. The lady was really nice, and we had a little televisit thing, and I told her about the health issues that I had been going through since April. The fact that I had been hospitalized twice, that I had a concussion, I had a heart attack, and I told her everything that was going on. I said, and then the stress of it all is that Medicaid will not give an answer as to whether or not they are covering Part D. And I'm finding out that as my providers are submitting their paperwork, Medicaid is denying a whole lot of this. Well, I found out through one of my providers that somewhere along the line, they've switched the member number to be used. So as I'm trying to tell the hospital and one of my specialty doctors, use this number instead of this number, I get met with, I know how to do my job. Okay. Okay. One of those is for $4.36. Granted, the other one is for $17 and change, but it doesn't have to be. You know, so then upon me doing the grunt work, this is why I tell y'all to advocate for your own health and everything around it. I find out that Medicaid has approved me, but they're just like a standing entity out there. They're not really doing anything because I can't have my Advantage insurance without having Medicaid. So Medicaid is saying, yeah, we got her. We're covering her. But at the same time, you're not covering anything. I'm on a yes column, but you're not fulfilling your end. And if you are, it's because of this number that needs to be used as opposed to the other number, which you're not telling people. You're leaving that on me, and I'm getting met with the nasty negativity. Okay, so be it. So the lady says to me, real sweet, by the way, how are you surviving? And I chuckled and I said, first of all, I need you to understand that I don't know how to be anything but honest. So I'm going to tell you the truth. I started a YouTube channel. I'm trying to become monetized. I'm not there yet, but I'm trying. I said, and also, I play these little games on my phone, earning anywhere from $1 to maybe a little more than $3 a day. And that is helping to cover like the streaming. And she says, well, do you really need to cover streaming? And I'm like, The biggest thing is having the internet in the house. The streaming really isn't a problem. My daughter can cover those if need be. But I have to have the internet because my grandchildren are here most of the time. And their homework a lot of times is on their Chromebook. If we don't have Wi Fi, they can't do their homework. And she says, "Oh, I see." I says, "And sitting here waiting for social services to call me back?" No, she asked the question. She says, "Well, have you called them for help?" Yes, I have. Gave her the rundown about how frequently I call. Pulled out my notebook, gave her dates and times that I called and who I called. Still waiting for callbacks. And she's like, "Huh." And they still haven't. No, ma'am, they have not. I said, "But I can continue to call." And the reason I had to seek outside sources is because I was afraid that my kids were going to come home one day and find me shriveled up in this chair. And she said, "You're afraid of dying." And I said, "No, ma'am, not at all. I'm afraid of my kids coming in and finding me shriveled up in a chair. If I got to wait on social services to eat, to give them food, to live from day to day, I would be a shell of nothing." I said, "That's just like me fighting with the insurance company right now." And I stood up so she could see, to have them have this pannis removed. And she said, "That looks like it hurts." I said, "It does. It's the reason my feet and legs keep swelling up. It's the reason I feel like I got on socks from the tip of my toes to midway my thighs." And then I showed her my skin around my ankles and my feet. And this lady cried. And I comforted her as much as I could and told her, "Baby, please don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry, because you're going to have two waterfalls over here." I said, "But this is what I deal with every day. And before April, I was not this way." So I'm frustrated, but I don't have time to sit back and show you all or show my kids, my grandkids, that I'm frustrated or how much I'm frustrated. Life goes on, and I will push and I will find ways to make a better life for my children so that they never have to go through this. There is a major lesson in this for my grandchildren. If it don't work one way, find another. Don't depend on one thing, even though you're doing everything you're supposed to do. Too often that fails. It has failed me too often. So yes, I am going to continue to find other ways. If I can find a game that pays a little bit more money, if I can put my hard-earned time into playing those games, laying up at night, playing games, I'll do that. I've tried several of them. A lot of them promise decent pay. I'm not looking to get rich. I really am not. People, seriously, I want to be able to I would love to be able to pay them on my own so that my daughter can save money, build her little nest egg. She's expressed that she wants to try living on her own. I want her to have that experience. I do. There's nothing like it. I love her here. I enjoy her here. She is my aide. She is the one that takes care of me when I can't take care of myself. And I would greatly miss that. But then social services and such are going to have to step up. But I really want to get to the point that I don't have to depend on social services. I want an insurance. I want a good insurance. Medicaid could stay right where it is. But I want to be able to pay that portion of my prescription, the Part D of Medicaid. I want to be able to get from point A to point B, which means that I have to get back to having a car or getting my truck fixed. I want to be able to get up and go in that kitchen, and if I want a mango smoothie or a peach smoothie, then I can go in my refrigerator and get one, or I can go in my freezer and make one. I want to be able, when I get ready to go in there and have breakfast, I want to be able to stand on my 2 feet and go in there and cook me my own breakfast, cook my own lunch, cook my own dinner without hurting. I'm not asking to be rich, but when I want to go see a movie, I want to be able to go see it. When I feel like I need to get away for a weekend, I want to be able to pack my little overnight bag, hop in my car, get my cooler, put my 6 bottles of water in it, and and my bag of chips, and haul tail down the road. I got one particular place that I go. I love his house. He's like a brother to me, and I love him. I love him so much. James is a jewel. And I would go right on to Woodbridge and stay for a couple of days just to breathe, write poetry and crochet, make out my plans for the next few months. That's what I do when I'm there. You know, I would love to be able to do that. I love the apartment that I'm in. I do. I would love to be able to get up and do the things that I need to do. Granted, right now I can't. I really cannot. I accept the fact that I am listed on a list of people who are disabled, but it should not mean that I'm completely incapacitated. And I feel like that's what these agencies are trying to push me towards. And I refuse to go there. I refuse to go there. I have worked since I was 5 years old. I have had to provide for up to 35 kids that were under my roof. So I realized it was, a lot on me then, and I can only do what I can only do. And yes, I do keep pushing the bar, and I'm going to continue to push the bar so that my grandkids don't have to see or suffer the way their mom and I have. Are there other options? I'm pretty sure, but I'm not a beggar. I'm going to let that rest right there. And if they watch the video, they'll understand exactly what I mean. I'm not, you know, I'm very much independent, and I have paid into my disability and Social Security, and I don't feel like I should have to stand on top of somebody to get what's due me, or to tap into what I've already paid into. It's like a huge savings account that I started at the age of 18. That's when they started taking out taxes on me. So you're looking at, what, 42 years? Well, 40 years just about that I paid into this. And lots of times with more than one job. So let me hear it, y'all. Let me hear the excuses. Still drinking my Folgers Black Silk. Yes, I am. With my International Delight Almond Joy. But that is my rant for the day. That is how my morning went, y'all. And ultimately, the lady said that she understood. She said that she is not going to add that income as income. Uh, she said technically she is supposed to, but she understands completely. Yes, I will break it down for you, and I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to hold anything back from you, because I need to make sure that when I ride my scooter over to that bus stop, granted, hopefully by the end of the year, I'll be able to walk over there. And I walk back to this apartment, and those babies are looking for their snack, their after school snack. I'm going to be able to go in that refrigerator and make it, and not wonder or have to ration. I have growing grandkids. I have a 9-year-old granddaughter and a 6-year-old grandson. And right now, The granddaughter is going through a growth spurt. If you put food before her, she's going to eat it. My grandson is at his picky stage. And it usually happens that as soon as she comes out of her growth spurt, then he starts his. And then he's eating everything that's not nailed down. And it only lasts through the growth spurt. And then it just calms right back down. And then they're both back to regular kids. But who am I to stunt their growth? You know, who am I to try to make this impossible for them? No, 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 no. Especially when everything is computerized now, and it's as simple as you going into somebody's file, a few clicks here and there, and everything would be fine. I am not asking you to give me hours of your day. You know, just a couple of minutes, if that. Depends on how long it takes your computer to load up. I am so frustrated with bureaucracy right now. I am. I am. And I didn't mention everything that I want to be able to do when I was saying I don't want to be rich. Whenever Joann's, Michael's, and why I need a car, because I need to find a Hobby Lobby. You know, I want to experience the premier yarns. I want a wall full of big twists. I do. I have fallen in love with their yarn. And the fact that Temu is so nice to me and keeps giving me free stuff based on things that we have ordered in the past and that price adjustment button. Yeah. And I'm loving their yarn. It feels really good. All of this that I'm using is Temu yarn. And I'm using it well. And it is making some beautiful car seat covers and baby blankets. Yes, it is. The pink on pink is actually Big Twist. It's watermelon and baby pink. But yeah. And I don't know if I told you all or not, but my daughter has indicated that she wants a long blue form-fitting dress. Okay. And this dress right here, my other daughter saw it and she was like, okay, where's mine? Yeah. And when that happens, I want to be able to jump on my scooter, go across the street, get the yarn, come back and get to work. Because right now I am doing 3 of the things that I love to do the most. I am crocheting, number 1. I am sipping on my coffee. And I am running my mouth with my friends. Yes, that is what Kitty loves to do. Yep. Because if I don't talk to y'all, I'll be sitting here talking to the TV. When my daughter comes in the evening, she fusses about that. She's like, Mom, it's a TV. I know. And it's pre-recorded. So they've already done it. Don't tell them what they should be doing. They've already done it. You're just supposed to watch it. Besides, you've seen that before. But it's so much fun. I used to sit outside and crochet. I think the thing that has really run me in the house here lately aside from, and I think the health was one thing to fall back on actually. I got tired of the insects, the bugs, y'all, the bugs. Oh my God, the flies, the wasps, the gnats, the ants, the spiders. Oh Lord, the arachnids. Hmm. I'm terrified of spiders. I am. I have a serious phobia. And the frogs. I don't do frogs either. No. We had an experience a couple of years ago where we're ground level. So when we opened our patio door, two frogs invited themselves inside. So when we turned the lights out, all we were hearing was smack, smack, smack. And that's them jumping along the walls or across the floor. No, baby, you gotta go. You got to go. My daughter was so brave that she ushered them out the door with the broom. No, I don't know if y'all have seen the movie Nothing to Lose with Martin Lawrence. I can't remember. Tim Robbins, I believe, is his name. But there was a part where a spider got on the dude and he jumped out of the car and his feet caught on fire. And Scatman Struthers was singing in the background. And that dude was trying to tap dance that fire out. Oh my God. But that's what I would have been like if it was left up to me and the frogs. Yes. I remember when the first summer we spent here, it was raining that night. And of course we smoke on the patio. And I went outside to smoke on the patio. And we use an old wooden bar stool as a table outside. And I got ready. I have a cup sitting out there that I keep filled with water that I use for an ashtray, so it doesn't blow everywhere, and so we can put our butts in it because I don't like butts. I no, just because you have a nasty habit doesn't mean that you have to be nasty. So I go out here and I sit down in the rocking chair to. I don't even think we had the rocking chairs yet. I think we just had the wooden chair, the wrought iron chair sitting out there. And I sat on the chair and I happened to look over when I got ready to flick my cigarette and I saw this little thing about the size of my thumb. And I'm like, what is, and as I get closer, I realize it's a frog. I jumped up, cigarette went one way, I went the other, inside. Daughter goes out and she picks up the cigarette off the thing. She's like, Mom, are you going to smoke this later? I'm like, no, I don't even need a cigarette. I don't. She says, I'll put a chair out in the breezeway and you go out and sit in the breezeway. Sorry, y'all, but oh, hell no. No, 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 no. No, no. Why? Because as soon as we open the door, on my neighbor's ring sat two little baby frogs. Right on top of the numbers to our door sat another baby frog. All along the rail on both sides, they sitting out there like they're giving us a cadence or something to come in. No, no, no. I just won't smoke. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I don't even need. They telling me I don't need a cigarette. That's fine. I got yarn and hooks back there in my room. I'm good. Let me get back there. Don't play with the frogs. I don't play with the spiders. I don't. I've always been afraid of frogs. I really wasn't afraid of spiders until my third spider bite. The first one, I was laying in my front yard at home in Portsmouth, and we had this tree. I don't remember what kind of tree it was in the front yard. And I used to love to lay my blanket out and just lay under that tree and read. And I was out there one day and I'm reading, and all of a sudden I felt a pinch on the back of my shoulder. And I went to brush it away. And as I did, I realized it was a spider. So I went in the house, calm, it was just a pinch. I just wanted mom to look at it. Swelled up really big, got to be really, really nasty. She took me to the emergency room. They took care of it. Okay. Then, as an adult, in my early 30s, my mom was having one of her club meetings at her house. And she wanted me to come give the house a good cleaning. Okay, no problem. I'm in the kitchen. I'm taking things off top of the cabinets, cleaning the top of the cabinets. And then I had the synthetic braids. So they're like really long. I pulled them back, the upper portion, into a ponytail. The bottom part was hanging, but I just needed it out of my face. So I'm cleaning, and when I'm getting ready to come home, this side of my face felt funny. So when I get home, I take my little shower, and I realize on this side a spider came out of it. Just a little bitty spider. So I'm like, okay, all right. So I'm thinking, as far as I'm not even putting the face and the spider together, I'm figuring the hair must have irritated me somehow, because on those types of braids, you burn the ends and the ends will get a little prickly. So I'm thinking maybe it stuck me or something and it irritated. So I laid down for a little while, and when I got back up and I went in the bathroom, uh, was washing my hands, you couldn't tell my neck, all of this blended. It was just like skin all the way down to here, and I freaked out. I did. And that was when I made the correlation between the spider and the tingling in the face. When I went to the emergency room, they found out, well, to me, it was a small spider back then. Nowadays, I would have considered it a huge spider. It's about the size of my pointer nail. Not just body, this is legs and all. So they washed it out. I forgot what kind of spider they said it was. And what was happening, I was having an allergic reaction. Well, I started developing a fear then. I did not like spiders. I didn't want to be around spiders. And was working down at the cab stand. And I'm sitting here one night, and I feel a prick in my big toe. Went home the next day. At the time, I had a kidney infection, so I was already taking antibiotics. I assumed it was a spider bite. So I'm taking the antibiotics. Went to work the next night. From my toes all the way up to my hip was one size. I mean, from like the biggest part of my thigh down. I called my mom and I told her, I said, I need you to take me to the emergency room. I don't know who they're going to get to come down here and dispatch, but I need to go to the emergency room. My leg is all one size. One of the drivers came in to dispatch. He saw my leg and he was like, oh my God. I said, exactly. Went to the emergency room. The doctor comes in. Cute. He was so cute. And he looks at me and he's like, we're going to have to admit you. I really need to know what kind of spider it was. And the guy had caught, there was a nest of spiders behind the desk. He had caught a few of them and put them in a little Ziploc bag and sent them with my mom. And my mom looked at them and they were like, oh my God, it was a brown recluse. He bit me on the tip of my toe, y'all. And it did that much damage. And they actually had to cut off the tip of my toe. And that's when the phobia began. I I remember one time I went to the emergency room. I had a wallet. Um, I've just about always lived on the bottom floor. I don't remember actually living the upstairs. So, well, I did at one point. I did at one point when I was 21. I lived upstairs. But uh, back to mid 30s, I had a wallet that I stopped using. It's a black wallet, more like a billfold. And I wrote the Bible verse John 3:16 on the side of it. And I had it propped up in the kitchen because it was a black wallet, and the whole scripture fit up there. So I had it propped up in my kitchen. For those of you who don't know, that's the one that says, "For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son," etc., etc. So that's the one. I had it sitting up there, and I decided after 3 months that I was going to use it. So I picked it up and opened it up, and this little black thing jumps out. Y'all, I'll never forget, I had on a green dress, and I beat that dress with me inside of it to the point that I was literally black and blue underneath. When I went to because they called 911, because I started having heart palpitations after that. When they got me to the hospital, they kept trying to make me lie. They kept trying to say, "Who did this to you?" I did. Me and the spider. And it got funny to them at one point, and they're like, "I don't understand what you're saying. A spider jumped out of my wallet onto me, and I was determined to kill the spider." And they were like, "I don't believe you beat yourself like that. If a spider got on me, I bet you I could do a lot worse." I don't do spiders. I do not do spiders. I don't do spiders. I don't do frogs. Please understand that. I don't mind the little doll baby. I'm going to tell you how bad I am with spiders. Now, I can do the little stuffed animal frogs all day long. I can see pictures of them. All of that is fun. When I worked at the hotel, when it was Halloween time, my manager thought that I was kidding when I told her I don't do spiders at all. I walked in one day, and in the back office, she had spiders all around, and I wouldn't go in that back office. I wouldn't. I would not. I went the long way to the time clock. I came back, had all of my stuff sitting out front, went over and got me a bar stool so I could set up to be sitting up front. And she was like, "You can't crochet out there." Don't tell me I can't, because I'm not going back there. It's either that or I'll go over and take a seat in the bistro. But I'm not going back there. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. The manager and the owner's son walked in one day. There was a spider in the corner up by the front desk. And when they walked in the door, I don't know if you all are familiar, but at Courtyard, they have very high desks. There's nothing low like at most hotels. Everything sits up high. Everything is designed so that you can stand up and work. When they came in that door, I was standing on top of the counter. And Tash, bless his heart, looked at me and said, "Kitty, why are you on?" I don't understand. I said, "Because he's down there." I can't be down there with him. Mm-mm. Fortunately, during that time that I was up there, we didn't have any guests to come check in. Because I imagine that would have been awkward. That would have been real awkward. I was not putting my feet on the floor until that spider got out of there. I'm not saying you got to kill it, but we can't share the same space. We just can't do that. No. No, no, no. And no some more. I don't play with them. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And it's weird because I respect snakes, but I'm not afraid of them. I'm not trying to find out personally if they're poisonous or not, but I used to own a snake. You know, and y'all, There are a lot of rodents I don't do. And I used to own a squirrel, a rabbit. I don't do gerbils and hamsters. Anything that reminds me of a mouse or a rat, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to say I don't want to do it. I'm not. I'm not. Nope. Not in this life, the next, or the one after that. I'm pretty sure I didn't do it in the previous lives either. No. I don't play those games. No. No, 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 no. Mm-mm. I believe God put us all here for us to respect each other, but not necessarily to get along. Because, like I said, if everything was good, we wouldn't recognize good. So there's got to be bad to help you distinguish the difference. Spiders, bad. Frogs, bad. Rats, mice, gerbils, hamsters, bad. Guinea pigs, yes, all of that, bad. I don't play those games. Yep. Don't do it. Don't do it. No, not me. Mm-mm. Yep, didn't do it in the past, not gonna do it now. It's not gonna happen. This is pretty. This is real, real pretty. Yes, it is. Guys, I'm gonna let y'all go in about an hour. I have got to be at the bus stop, prepared to pick up my little boogers, my yellow booger and my beige booger. And yes, they got it right yesterday. I got both children off the same bus at the same time. Yes, and I was happy. And they were happy because they didn't have to see another part of me. They didn't. But you guys go ahead on and you have an exceptional Wednesday. Don't forget about the giveaway. It is the 28th. We have until the 31st, about 5:30 to get your entries in. As of right now, I have 3. They're still going into the bag. We're going to shake the bag up. I'm going to do a live at 6 o'clock. Like I said, with just 3 in the bag, it probably won't even be 5 minutes of your time. Might even be able to do it as a short. But I will be doing the drawing at 6 p.m. on Saturday. That is the 31st. And somebody will be lucky enough to get a beautiful box. I think it's a beautiful box. If I got a box like that, I'd be tickled pink. So, yes, getting the yarn and all the accessories and good stuff and knickknacks and this, that, and the other from me. And, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Don't forget the Grow Foundation donations. And don't forget to like, please, share, please, subscribe, please, please, comment, please comment, please comment, please comment. I want to hear from you. Hey guys, when you walk past that mirror and you see that reflection, you make sure you give it a millisecond just to say, I love you. And know from the depths of my soul, from the bottom of my heart, that I, Kitty Lane, love you too. Peace out, everybody.